ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit, subscribe, yeah. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends figure review on the 2016 X-Men Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Waves Cable. If you're trying to pick up your Marvel Legends, you can get them at big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Just by looking at this figure while still in the packaging, it looks very cool. I'm very excited for this one. Anyway, on the side you get a cool image of Cable. On the back you can see the figure right over there. There's a read-up. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. There's the other figures from the wave. There's Cable again, and then we get the X at the top, and not much more at the bottom. Alright, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Cable out of the packaging, and I think this is a very cool figure. I am very happy with this Cable figure. Of course, we see some reused parts from the Nuke, and I do think that it's a very nice design, even though it's not my favorite. I do prefer the original Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpool design, but I still think this looks really cool. Now, this looks very similar to how Cable appeared in the Deadpool video game, but that's not what this is based off of. This is based off of the Avengers X-Sanction 4-part miniseries, where Cable has to fight the Avengers so that Hope doesn't get killed by the Avengers, or so he thinks, and he only has 24 hours to do it until the Technovirus destroys him. Anyway, the figure, I like it, but I do have some gripes. For instance, just getting him to hold this weapon right over here is a bit tricky. But anyway, let's take a closer look at the guns, and then we'll take a closer look at Cable. Now, we've seen these guns reused from Hasbro several times. I think the very first time we got these was from the Forge figure from way back in 2009, right? Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But anyway, these look very cool. I really like this metallic green color that they're made with. The only thing is that you can see some weird marbleization, or it's not even real marbleization. It looks like cracking, you know, in the plastic right over here and throughout. So I don't really think that's a big deal. You know, it kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic, but it is noticeable it's there. But you have the bullet shells that you could just plug right in there. So I think that's pretty neat. Then there's this one right over here as well. Same thing, came with Forge way back in the day. And I don't have those original guns anymore because I painted over, well, I have them, but I've repainted them, you know. So here's my old school customizing skills at work. A little heavy-handed with the silver, I think. A little too much, maybe. Looks a little glopped on, but yeah, you can see that they're the same. Yeah, getting him to hold it lefty is hard too. It's mostly because there's not enough space right over here. This gap is just too small for either of these hands to really fit through comfortably. Another thing that bums me out is that there's no weapon storage for these guns. You know, I really wish there was. Kind of funny thing is that I did miss the bazooka storage on the Deadpool, but I spent a bunch of time trying to figure out ways to get this little loop right here to hold the guns, and it just looks silly every time I try to set it up like that. Now, one thing I don't really like about this head sculpt is, again, it looks very similar to other head sculpts that we've gotten from Hasbro. It's like the same dude's face, just reused over and over, but they did add a lot of sculpted work to this, and I think it looks really good. First off, looking at the scars, I think they did a pretty good job as far as the sculpting work goes. As far as the paint applications, though, you can see that they are missing those sculpted lines right over there. Everything's just off to the right when it should be a little bit more to the left on top of those lines. The eye looks pretty good on his right side, but looking over here, oh my goodness, look at that silver paint and the black wash right in there too. That looks really, really nice. I'm really digging that a lot. I love the attention to detail with the sculpting right over here. I like this little ribbed area right over there. Just all the different little pieces that they sculpted around here just looks very impressive to me, and I love how we get that red trim around his eye, and you can see the yellow on the inside. I think that is awesome. That is just really cool. So, you know, for the most part, I'm really liking this head sculpt a lot. Here's looking at the side. No shadowing effect or anything for the hair. It's just solid gray color. Looking on the top, you know, no color variation or anything like that. But yeah, man, I'm really digging it. Looking on the side, you can see that he has the X tattoo on his shoulder. And you get this huge piece right over here, which is not removable. I wanted to see if there's a way to remove it, but no, it's all one big sculpted piece. And looking on the inside of the neck right there, you can see the Technovirus creeping up the neck right over there. Looking really nice. I think that is awesome. Same thing right there on the back. It looks a little bit weird sometimes when you get him turning around, but, you know, it's still pretty good. I like it. And then looking at this arm is really awesome looking. Oh, man. I love this. That is so cool. Looking at the hand, it looks really good. Man, really good job with this. Now there's a little Easter egg over here because Cable does get his arm blown off. You can actually pop this off. I didn't think that they did that on purpose at first, and then after taking a read, because I have my Marvel Unlimited account, I love having that. It's super easy to use, and you just pop this right back on. So I'm just going to assume Hasbro did that on purpose. I have a feeling that they did. I could be wrong about that, but you know, it looks awesome, and the fact that you can do that is even cooler. Now looking at the belt over here, I think it looks pretty nice. Nice little attention to detail with the sculpted work around here. You know, you get that little loopy piece, nice silver belt buckles. We get some nice wrinkles in the shirt. You can tell this is a darker blue than the blue that we get over here. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention too is that we get bullet holes. I wish they painted a little bit of silver inside these, you know, but I like that he has little battle damage pieces or even some black paint or something in there, you know. Then you could see some of the silver not going all the way through. The beige color is kind of creeping up underneath over there, so I guess they could have applied a little bit more paint. But I don't know, it's not that noticeable, and it doesn't look that bad to me. But looking at the rest of the legs, these are right from Nuke, and then from the knees down, they are different. Looking very cool over here with these shins. Again though, I think they could have added some more paint in those bullet holes to really make those pop. That would have been nice. And I believe these are the same boots that came with Nuke as well. So looking at the shoes themselves right here, nice stitching and everything, and he does have peg holes. Then you're just looking at the back of the figure, all kinds of pouches over there, not too bad. Now for the most part, I really like the articulation on this figure. I like that his head moves all the way up, you know, that's pretty good, especially with having that collar piece right there. And his head moves all the way down so that he's sniffing his armor. You can move his head side to side, and there's not really any neck pivot in there at all. The shoulders can move outward very far. I like how on both sides you can move them pretty far upward. I think that's pretty cool, and they move down pretty well also. I like that. You can rotate them forward, bicep swivel on both sides, double jointed elbows. Yeah, come on, move there and there. Okay, both double jointed elbows. You get the swivel over here, and it hinges down, and it doesn't really want to move up as much without ripping into the plastic a little bit on this side. Let's see, on this side, yeah, same deal. So you get these little pieces right over here that really do restrict movement as far as bending back. Anyway, he does have a diaphragm joint that turns side to side. A little bit of pivot over here, and it crunches forward once and moves back a little bit more so. You also get a waist swivel. You get hip joints that move outward just that far. He can kick forward that much and back some. He has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. Wish he had a calf rotation, but no boot rotation over here. The ankles move down, and they don't really move up because of this shin guard piece right here. So I wish his ankles could move up, and he does have ankle pivot. Now to measure cable, you can see he's standing just a little under 7.5 inches tall. And then for your goblet comparison, here he is next to the Marvel Select cable, and then we have the Toy Biz Series 6 cable over here. And you can see that this newer figure is almost as tall as the Select. And then for your Summers family portrait / comparison, we have Papa, daughter, and brother over here. Unfortunately, Strife is a little bit shorter than Cable, which is kind of funny because the Series 6 cable was too short next to this Strife, and now he's too short compared to this Cable. But seeing Cable next to these two over here, I think that looks just fine. And even though the techno-organic virus is kind of consuming half of his face over here, you can still do a head swap with the Strife figure if you choose to, so that doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit wobbly on there though, but it does fit. And then I wanted to compare Cable to Forge and Bishop over here, and you can see that Bishop is still a little bit shorter than Cable. I feel like these two should be more about the same size, but comparing the Series 6 one to Bishop, I always thought that this Series 6 was way too small compared to Bishop, so I still like how this one looks a little bit better in relation to the Bishop figure, even though he's too big. And then here's Cable compared to the Red Onslaught Wave Captain America and the Bleeding Edge Iron Man. And in the Avengers X Sanction book, Captain America and Cable are more about the same height, so yeah, I do think this guy's a little bit out of scale. And then here's Cable next to the other figures from the wave aside from the Build-A-Figure review of Juggernaut tomorrow. And I really like the height difference between Cable and Deadpool over here. I think they look really good side by side. And just as an addendum to my Deadpool review, you can store the bazooka into his back, so he does have that hole in his back, and there's this peg right over here, so I did miss that. Thank you guys, thank you so much. Also, you can take the Wade Wilson head and put it on the Pizza Spidey. Alright, you can do that, and I guess this is a real gun, didn't know that. Then here's Cable next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey Cable, you're all about time jumping and changing the future by jumping into the past and whatnot. Think you can go back in time before I got these crappy pain apps? I'm tired of being called a letdown all the time. Ooh, sweet! Alright, yeah! Oh, this is, whoa. Oh no. Oh, instead of Big Time Letdown, I'm Big Time Big Head Spider-Man! Ah, change me back! Change me back! Yeah, regular. Thank you. Now if you're wondering if you can have this new cable hold the Marvel Select cable's weapons, you can. The finger goes right through that trigger hole very nicely. You can fit that gun in his hand nicely as well, so that's cool. You can change things up if you'd like to. You know, I really do like the figure a lot. I think it looks really cool. Not a lot of figures got some really good paint detailing, and at least with the metal parts over here, we did get some very nice paint detailing with this figure. And I do like the sculpt and the look of it overall. I am quite happy with it. And I hope you guys are quite happy with my review. If you are, please hit the like button. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought of this figure and of this review. If you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do so by clicking that button right over there for more Shartimus videos all over tu cara. If you have not seen yesterday's review on the Deadpool, which you can see over there and over there, go ahead and click that button right there though to see the Deadpool review. If you want to see my Marvel Legends review on the Iceman figure from this wave, go ahead and click that button right over there if you have not seen that already. If you want to stay in touch with me, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to check out MarvelousNews.com for the latest in Marvel news and a photo gallery of images from this review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
It just looks so...